and your right hip slightly back. Always best, it's always easier to start on the right leg. Okay. Rather than it is on the left. The right leg is slightly easier. Okay, now with your position, as I said, you've always got to be thinking slightly the right hip and the right shoulder slightly back. Now because your right leg only really helps keep you on, it doesn't really help straighten or jellyfish. That was a couple of youngsters, they charged around and being stupid. Okay, that's much better there. Okay, just go large into walk. So we're going to have a little look in a minute on doing some basic work with the trot. And what we're going to do is just going to use the long sides of the stool to actually do our trot. And we're going to use the short sides of the stool to come back to walk and reposition, okay? Now in the trot that is done sitting. So to maintain our sitting trot and allow our feet to sort of sit comfortably in the floor, our right leg then comes quite long into play. So our right leg needs to keep quite a good contact with the knee and also working on the toes slightly, a bit like a ballerina down towards the ground. Now because of the muscle at the front here, we don't tend to use a massive amount. Sometimes the end can pull. So you just want to have it stretched out a bit comfortably. Okay, so don't force what you can't manage. Again, sometimes in long boots, the ankle isn't always very set to that stretch. Now your left leg also, the whole of the left leg is sort of closed around the horse's tummy. So that also involves the inside of your left knee as well. Now when you trot, normally, even if you're not nudging, your right leg would be around your horse's tummy. So